So I finally understand the Thai BL shipping culture. It just finally made sense to me. And that's all because of these two couple in the drama ThamePo, which is the drama I'm covering in this episode. Because, I went into this drama kind of just not expecting anything and came out of it just like in love with the two actors, right? And that's when I realized, oh, okay, this is a niche. Like, you have to have been kind of into the like BL world and just like watching a lot of BLs for you to get to this point where I am currently at with the two actors and how much I love them so much. But it's a very like specifically niche thing that you would never experience if you just never got into this world. I am kind of obsessed, guys. Like, I am super, super, super obsessed with the two actors in Tempo. But before I get to that, I just want to talk about this drama. I have watched episode 8 and 9, and I think it was just as fantastic as the first 7 episodes, if not better. I think that the director, the writer of this drama is one that has a vision and really saw that vision through. Like, I am so impressed in that I am kind of shocked that this is from GMMTV, because GMMTV is a production company that is kind of a hit or miss on their dramas, right? They have this like huge amounts of talent, right, in their company, but they don't have good enough writers and directors, right? And that is why a lot of the dramas is kind of by the grace of God that, one will be good, right? So they will have gems here and there, but I think all in all, the company tends to use the same kinds of director or the same set of people, and so they never really grow. They're kind of stunted in that way. But once in a while, though, they will like use an outside director. They will contract a different director than the ones they normally use, and so you get to experience a kind of different outlook, a kind of different cinematography, a kind of different look of a drama feel. Just based on the own director's kind of perspective and how they want to like tell a story, right? And so once in a while they do that, and that's where Tempo I think is coming from. I don't think this director is like a GMMTV like in-house director or like an in-house writer. I think director for Tempo has to be someone that like they are a director but they are not like with a company or something like that, right? Because I am blown away by how well done this is that honestly I have no words. That is how amazing this drama is. This drama kind of reminds me of a K-drama in that it just like it's soft in that way, it's well put together, it's well thought out, little things here and there that just like things that tie a drama together. It's in this, and that's kind of surprising for me, right? And I am loving it so much. But anyway, we watched episode 8 and 9 this last Friday, and honestly, uh, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I am kind of hooked. I am obsessed. I am in that hole I get into when I just like a drama so much and I want to like know everything about how it was made, how it was produced, how it came to be, if the actors hate each other, if the actors like each other, who the supporting characters are, what they want to do, things like that. That is the like rabbit hole I am down into with this drama because it is that good. And so talking just a little bit about episode 8 and 9, June is still a menace in episode 8, but things are kind of getting to like a boiling point, especially with Tame and Tame's feelings. And so a lot of episode 8 to an extent is more focused on Tame and June and their relationship and kind of resolving that tension about Paul, right? They have this game in the arcade. It's not my favorite scene, I would say, but I like the fact that they do talk through things and it's talk through their feelings, and it's communication, and I like that, right? And at the end of it, that's where I would say that like, okay, June kind of like throws in the towel. He says that he doesn't really like Poe, and Sam is free to chase him if he wants, and he was only doing that because he wants Poe to be treated well, which is kind of a shaky writing there in the sense that Tim was treating Paul well. Like it was never a moment, or there was never a moment where I felt that like Tim was not a good partner in some way, or not good at like taking care of Paul or considering Paul's feelings, right? I would say that Tame considers Paul's feelings better than June. I feel like June kind of ignores it and is just a brat, right? But that's the excuse they give. I don't buy it. I do think that the character of June is giving an excuse for, you know, his feelings. He doesn't want to admit it, which is fine, right? But anyways, they end that and they kind of like come into this conclusion that okay, like, you know, Tim can't chase Paul and you know he'll back off, right? But honestly, even if June had chased Paul, it wasn't gonna work. This is ThamePo, not June Paul, the series. So, you know, that's kind of majority of this drama, or at least half of the like episode 8, right? And then, you know, after that happens, kind of it settles down and Tame and Poe kind of like get closer, because I think up to this point June was kind of monopolizing everything, the plot, the story, and Poe's time, right? So I think that now that June has been removed, we get to see like Tame and Poe have those flirty moments. I really like that scene where they're in the tailor shop and they are like kind of edging around what they want to talk about, in terms of that like obviously they won't know that like they like each other, and you know June has kind of told Tim that Paul likes him, and you know obviously Paul kind of just knows that you know Tim likes him, right? And so they both know about their feelings, but they kind of dance around it. They talk about the music video and everything, and never really get to like the points, but they do spend a lot of time together, and I just love it. They're just so soft, guys, like so soft. I don't know how to explain it, and I love it so much. I adore them so much. They're so soft spoken. Oh my god, Tame is so soft spoken. William, the character that's playing him, like he has this voice that just it's very good. It's very like lovely, and I just love it so much, right? And you know, so they kind of like walk home, because these days that's all they do. They just walk everywhere, and it's cute. I love it. There's something about it that's so cute. But you know, they walk home, and it's on the way that they're walking home that like Tim is like, I want to stop by the like convenience store and grab something. And this is the beginning of like this huge delulu in everybody's mind. Not just Poe. Poe is the originator of this, that's making us, the audience, the Lulu, thinking that when Tim goes into the convenience store, he goes and buys condoms, right? Obviously, like we see in episode 9 that that's not the case, but like from that, I feel like everybody, including Poe, was kind of like, was that it? Is that why? Like that was quick. I didn't think Tim was like that, right? And so, kind of like coming into episode 9. Poe is like extremely on edge, and so are we, the audience. Like we are so on edge that like, what if it is, right? But like obviously it doesn't give you that vibe, because Tim isn't giving you that vibe. And you know, it ends up being nothing, right? But you know, for a moment there, we're all just like, is it? Is it? But yeah, it ends up being like lemon candy or something like that, right? Which makes sense, right? And it was just a nice comedic like thing. Again, I like the fact that they are giving Paul some agency. I know some people will say he's kind of passive in this relationship with Tame. That Tame is the one that's like, you know, dictating everything, but I do like the way like Paul knows things is like happening between them. Like he knows that things are different between them from the very beginning, right? Even when he was like being gaslit by June, right? That like Tim would never like you. Tim likes like tiny girls and everything. Like Paul knew in his mind that like obviously Tim likes him. All the things he's doing for him, staying up throughout the night with him on the phone, right? All that has to be because he likes him. And so Paul is able to like recognize the atmosphere that they have, and recognize that like their relationship is changing, and it's, you know, it's different all of a sudden, right? And so I think that's part of why he was like thinking it was condoms. But it was just, that whole scene was just funny. But yeah, it ends up being like candy and everything, right? But yeah, so anyway, they watch a movie together, the movie that they, you know, I said they were gonna watch this whole time, and you know, halfway through, you know, Tim turns to him and like he's like, I'm gonna watch it through your eyes and everything. And it's very sweet. It's kind of kind of cringy, but I like it, right? It's that kind of cringe that you like, right? And like Beata is saying, he's watching it through his eyes, and it's so sweet and cute and everything. But you know, it's in this moment that like he gets charged, and they kind of lean in and Tim Tim just like kind of pauses and like disappears. He just leaves, right? And Poe's like, what? Right? And that's kind of when you find out that like it's Candy, right? So he that was a night that, we thought something was gonna happen. I thought something was gonna happen because that's what was in like one of the trailers, right? So I thought that was it, but it wasn't. I would later be surprised. I would be like later shocked by how it happens, right? In terms of that, like they're kissing. But before we get to that, right? So Tim goes back to his apartment and the boys are obviously there and they're thinking that obviously, and this is the day after, right? They are thinking that obviously Tim is not around, right? Because obviously he went with Paul and they are obviously getting to a new stage in their relationship. So they don't expect him to be on because they knew he was going to watch a movie with Paul, right? And so when they see him coming out of his room and everything, they're so shocked. That's kind of one of my favorite scenes ever. It's such a good scene because like the whole team knows and the whole team is like kind of coaching him in that moment. It was very, very good. Like I just beautiful, beautiful. I like how exasperated they were. They were like, so you only went to Netflix? No chill? And like it was just so good. I like how like Nano, the character played by Lego is like, just visibly like disappointed. And I like how Dylan is like just straightforward saying everything, right? But yeah, I really like that moment, and I like how they like coach him and explain to him that obviously like he was expecting something different, right? Like anyone would, right? And I like that teaching because that's what he needed, right? That's what he needed to hear, right? And so when he sees Poe again, he's like, don't worry, next time let's watch another movie, and he's kind of trying to hint at the fact that okay, this time will be it will be different, and this time I'll like be proactive and we'll get this on with. And Point is like, I guess like he's not like catching the vibe, right? Because again, it's not so much that like Poe is also like expecting this to happen. Yes, he is, but it's not so much like it must happen. And so he is kind of clueless in that moment where they're like in the studio right after rehearsals, or I think after their music video recording. So anyways, you just know that now this is where Tame is in the back of his mind. And so the next time that they do go see the movie, the minute they walk through the door, like Tame just attacks him, and oh my god, guys, like I thought this was going to be a slow pace, just kind of like PG rated drama. And to an extent it is. But honestly, I was shocked, just shocked by how this guy like jumped on him. Like it was kind of beautiful, it was kind of poetic, and it was the best. Like I have been kind of expecting and like waiting for this scene. I've been anticipating it, and it was so well done. I give props to the actor. This is what I mean, that like these two actors are kind of having me like the Lulu, and like like for the person I understand the shipping culture. Like I am sold on this too. I love them so much. I think they are perfect together. They're such good actors together, and this is just a gem, right? And so I just if there's one thing though that was kind of like a little kind of annoying, was the fact that the friend came in and it was kind of all over his space and kind of disrupted their moment, because the moment was going so well, right? But I do like the fact that she came in, because it was when she was in that she kind of mentions his ex boyfriend, and that's kind of how Tim kind of gets a hint. And I liked seeing a jealous Tim. It was very interesting to me. I felt like it was a good portrayal of like jealousy. Like we saw it with June as well, but I just like seeing that, because otherwise Tim is kind of a perfect character, and so seeing how he is when he realizes that like the person he likes is still keeping his ex-boyfriends like cups and like clothes and everything and wears them, like you understand like his reaction in that sense, right? So I like the fact that they added that to it, and I like that they cleared that out of the way before they continue the relationship, so that the next time that they actually go at it they got it well, right? But at that point, obviously they are boyfriends and everything, right? Because they've confirmed it, and so I love it so much. Like when they finally like kiss, like in the next time like they keep watching movies and they keep not watching the movie. Right? But it was amazing, right? The final scene when they're at the couch, I think I have yet to see a better like romantic kissing in a BL. Like I'm actually trying to think about it, especially like a Thai BL, which is kind of a hit or miss for me. I feel like this has to be like the best. Like it had me, like it took me like maybe 2 hours to finish this one episode. Right. And this is just like a 45-minute episode, right? It's not that long. But it took me a long time because I was pausing because I was like, you know how like you like clench your fist because of how like sweet a scene is, or how it's just giving. That was kind of how I felt, watching this two like in the last scene. It was so well done. I have to say, like I mentioned in like my last review of ThamePo, where I cover episode 1 and 7, I mentioned the fact that I really like William, the actor, but honestly, I think S is also super fantastic. Like I rewatched a few of the episodes this last week because I'm kind of obsessed now. And I think S is also just like breathtaking in terms of like acting. Like the two of them are just really, really good, and they match each other so well in terms of chemistry. That like in that last scene, his eyes were speaking. Like his eyes were acting. Like I felt his like interest. I felt it's the chemistry. I felt like in Est's eyes or Poe's eyes, right? He was like into Tame. And I like to see that. I feel like they always portray the bottom, and I hate to use that word, oh my god, but like they always do it in such a way that it feels that they don't like want relationship. They're kind of passive, they're kind of like just like receiving. And so I never really like how they portray. But here like you see that like Poe is just as invested in this. Poe is just as like turn on. Like he's into this as well. And I love that. I love the fact that like I've not seen someone's eyes speak like that. I don't know how to explain it, guys. You guys have to watch that final scene in episode 9, like, and just look at Poe's eyes. Like it's wow. That's what you call bedroom eyes. That's if anyone's ever heard that term, bedroom eyes. That is it. When someone is giving you bedroom eyes, that is the eyes. Like it's like I felt like I was not supposed to be watching that. Does that make sense? Like I felt like it was a lot. It was secret kind of, even though obviously like they shot it to be watched, but I felt that it was like, and so I just guys, so well done. Like they had me, like this show had me googling William and S, right? Like it had me watching their interviews and like just like giggling over this too. That's why I was like, I understand what people are talking about when they're like, I want these two people to keep acting in the same dramas forever and ever. I get it now. Obviously, I'm not saying I want them to, or they need to. Like, obviously, like that is insane. They shouldn't. They all should act with different people, but like I understand, and I just appreciate that chemistry. That if I do see them in another drama, I will most likely like die from excitement, right? So I am just so impressed with them, and I just like their off-screen chemistry as well. They seem like such good friends, and they seem to like genuinely like one another. Obviously a lot of the things they will do is fan service, but still I think that to an extent the bond there is genuine. And I like watching it, and I like the fact that at least from what I have seen, they are a lot similar to their characters in a lot of ways. And I don't know, there's just something about when I see two people get along and two people will be good natured. I just like it. I like when like people are just good natured, right? That's kind of why I liked BTS when I first got into them, is that like to an extent it was their relationship with one another and seeing how good natured they were amongst each other, that I liked, right? And I feel like William and S give me that same vibe, right? They're not necessarily like, especially like S is not necessarily like a loud person or anything, and he's an introvert like me, and so I kind of relate to him in that sense, right? And so I just like seeing how he reacts to things. And it's just, I am a new fan basically. Is where I'm going with this. I am a new fan of both William and S, and I think they are both awesome actors, like so good, like accolades, all the awards to these two people. Like already I think this is one of the best dramas of 2025, and it's only February. Like it's so good. So yeah, I just this was such a good episode 8 and 9. I am looking forward to the next episodes, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Honestly, I hope you guys think this is good as well. But anyways, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening as always, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.